There we go.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Hard.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
You certainly do not have to do this to us.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
The Cobra Kai series, starring Ralph Macchio and William Zabka as Daniel LaRusso and Johnny Lawrence respectively, has become a huge hit on Netflix as it carries on the legacy of the Karate Kid franchise. Not only there's a lot that you have to keep up with on the show, but also the stuff that happens behind the cameras. So, do you want to know what happens behind the scenes in Cobra Kai? Well, then you've come to the right place. What happens behind the scenes in the Cobra Kai dojo? Is the karate real or just clever editing? You will come to know that and more in this video, so keep watching it till the end so you don't miss out on anything interesting. Let's begin. Number 12.
You alright? What is your problem?
Look, why don't you just take your little Cobra Kais and get out of here?
Oh
right?
yeah, right, and that's gonna solve everything.
Cobra Kai may be a huge hit, and as Johnny Lawrence or Barley Stinson would say, the real Karate Kid, actor Billy Zabka, may love being on the show, but he was initially reluctant to reprise the role of Johnny. It might be because he was often typecast after the release of The Karate Kid in 1984, with Zabka performing in a string of similar movies. Zabka is now happy that he signed the contract to return and said that he's thrilled to perform with his old co-star, Ralph Macchio, with whom he shares a very special bond. Macchio is also very happy to be back in the dojo, but also commended the writing staff as well as the young actors who make up the show. Both were equally happy, saying that they are thrilled and enthusiastic to bring the Karate Kid world to the younger audience. Number 11.
We train 4 or 5 hours a day.
Right.
And this show, we're getting maybe 10, 15 minutes sometimes to warm up and get ready.
And we're putting the camera here and
feet,
start
elbows, and yeah.
One thing that made it easier for Zabka to return to the character after so many years was the fact that he kept up with his martial arts training since the days of Karate Kid and never left it. Despite not being highly energetic and spirited young man that he once was, Zabka did continue to train on and off and even got to the level of a second-degree green belt. Macchio, on the other hand, was not keeping up with his training since the Karate Kid, and while he still was the ambassador to the art, he was a bit rusty when he was returning to the role of Daniel, and it took him more effort to make the transition of character as compared to Zabka. You can see the notable difference in the sharpness of the two foes in the first season, but now with Macchio back in the swing of things, a face-off between the two is very exciting to see. Number 10. As we mentioned earlier, Zabka isn't quite the young, energetic man that he used to be in the days of the Karate Kid, and he found that out the hard way as he got into a little accident on the set. In an interview, Zabka admitted that during his first fight scene, he ended up pulling his hamstring, but that's not all. He also said that he accidentally broke his toe when he ended up jamming it, and said that it went right back into his foot, and we can all well imagine how much it would have hurt. Despite being in extreme pain and having to hobble over to the side, Zabka continued to shoot the scene and kept going on as nothing had happened, which we are sure would have taken extreme courage to do so. Number 9. It's not only a lot of time and effort that it takes for the workout routines, but also the costume designs. For Hawk actor Jacob Bertrand,
black, whatever color it's going to be for third season, I don't know. And then, the color, black tips. It takes a while to set up. It takes about a good 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how fast we go. And
it takes about 25 to 45 minutes in the makeup chair to apply his trademark back tattoo, with the time dependent on how much he moves around in a scene. That is almost nothing as compared to the time he goes into his mohawk, which takes 1 whole hour to do. Number 8. Of course, the Cobra Kai is not only about Daniel and Johnny, and has a great younger lot as its cast as well. It has some awesome fight scenes, and while stunt actors are used for the riskier moves, the original actors were also very much involved in the fight The younger actors were relative newcomers in the field of martial arts and were like a blank canvas, but the stunt coordinator, Hiro Koda, who was also the stunt coordinator on another Netflix show, Stranger Things, ran into one problem that you won't even expect. Despite the actors being amateurs and trying to learn martial arts as they went on with shooting the show, they picked it up very quickly. Too quickly, in fact. Koda said that the actors were becoming too good at it and were performing at a much higher level than what their character requirement was, so it had to actually be toned down, which I mean is a nice problem to have. At least it wasn't the opposite. This might be because of some of the crazy and intense workout schedules that the actors engaged in. Solo Marijuana, who plays Miguel on the show, said that he has a daily 2 to 4 hour training regimen consisting of professional stunts, martial arts, boxing, strength, and yoga to keep him in shape, and said that it was the hardest thing that he had to do on his entire journey. Yeah, my schedule of eating tacos, sleeping, playing video games, and yelling at inanimate objects when I lose my video game also keeps me in shape, but that's a more circular one. Number 7. One of the things that makes Cobra Kai successful is the fact that not only it manages to be its own things in its own way, but at the same time, it is able to pay loving homage to the Karate Kid series that influenced its creation. That's because it was created by Cobra Kai superfans John Hurwitz, Josh Held, and Hayden Schlossberg, who expertly put a number of Easter eggs from the original film throughout the series. One of which is shown in the very first episode, which includes a fight scene between Daniel and Johnny from the '84 film, as well as showing never-before-seen footage from the movie. Number 6. One of the perks of being in a hit TV show or movie is that you get to keep some of the goodies and props, and that was the case for Samantha, actor.
Do you want to maybe go to a game with me sometime?
Yeah.
Mary Mouser, who got to keep the outfit that she wore on her date with Miguel. That is because Mouser was very sick during the cast photo shoot, so the costume designer was kind enough to let her keep the outfit. Number 5. Like Felina and Ozymandias in Breaking Bad, a great level of intelligence, detail, and insight is needed to name the episode titles of Cobra Kai. An example is the title of the very first episode of the first season, Ace Degenerate, which is a reference to a dialogue from the original movie.
I'm gonna be your sensei. I'm not just gonna teach you how to conquer your fears. I'm gonna teach you how to awaken the snake within you.
So that means that the episode titles are not just anything that comes in the writer's mind, but it has a lot of hidden meaning to it, and you and I are required to look deeper into it. Number 4. Cobra Kai and Karate Kid have an established die-hard fanbase, especially if you grew up watching the original movie back in the 80s. That is certainly the case of Will Smith, who grew up as a die-hard fan of the original movie.
That I was like, wasn't in love with the concept of them remaking the movie.
And loves it so much that he is actually a producer of the Cobra Kai. Number 3. One of the best things about Cobra Kai is undoubtedly the epic fight scenes in the show. But you know what? It can cause a lot of pressure and anxiety for the actors performing in them, as is the case for Peyton List, who plays Tori.
Is that the only way you know how to fight? Dirty? This isn't a tournament. There are no rules.
Who didn't have much time to prepare for her fight scene, which caused her to be nervous while filming the scene. Alternatively, the toughest scene for actor Mary Mouser was the epic fight scene at the end of Season 2. Number 2. Coming back to the Easter eggs, in the second episode of Season 1, Miguel asks Johnny if there's a particular way that he wants the windows to be washed, to which Johnny replies, "I don't give a shirt." Except he doesn't actually say shirt.
Whatever's easiest. You know what? Just go clean the toilet and we'll call it a night.
This is an obvious reference to a line from the original movie The Karate Kid, as we already mentioned earlier, but it also showcases the different teaching styles of Johnny and Mr. Miyagi. Number 1. While Cobra Kai might be set up in Los Angeles and have shot quite a lot of scenes there, but like a majority of Marvel films, it is actually set up in Atlanta, Georgia, with the Cobra Kai dojo being actually based in Atlanta. Apparently, the cast quickly warmed to the city, with Mouser saying that she fell in love with a burger place called Fred's, where she ate nearly every day during her stay.
Here with all of this food, and this isn't even all of it. This is round one, and then we have dessert.
Who knew that burgers were good for martial arts training? Are you a Cobra Kai fan who didn't know about these behind-the-scenes secrets? Which one of these did you enjoy the most? Tell us in the comments below, and also tell us more if you know. Also, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more fun content.